the time when we're going to open up the floor to the audience, and we hope that some of you have gotten inspired by what you've heard, and you know that everyone here is really friendly, and it's a great informal crowd. So if anyone wants to share about their culture, about their background, now's the time. Yeah. Okay. Would you like to come up on it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Good, thank you all. How are you?
Maybe you can start with introducing yourself.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. My name is Shiva. I'm born in Hayward and raised in Fremont, California. But part of me is also Floridian because I grew up watching about 3 hours of CSI Miami every single day. So that also, I think, shaped me to be a little bit more morose in my, taste. I like things that are a little bit more dark in life, like reading and writing and literature, television, films, so anything that's a little bit darker. I write stand-up comedy, and the host definitely drilled down that it's got to be appropriate today several times, so I'm going to keep it very clean for you guys, as much as I possibly can. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell. That said, you know, as a comedian, I really enjoy my line of work. I get a lot of special treatment. Places that I go to a restaurant, I'll ask for a table for one. They'll give me a table for 10. Call it the bar. Clean comedy, this is what I got. You know, I don't dine and dash anymore because I'm doing well financially. Sometimes I take the check to go. The restaurant I was at the other day, there was this really pretty waitress. I asked her out. She and I went on a date. Unfortunately, she has very bad body odor, but she's sweet. And I couldn't figure out a way to tell her. So she's always busy waitressing, so I thought, you know what, I'll write her the feedback instead. She called me later, furious, demanding that I take down my Yelp review. The lady here earlier mentioned that her grandpa had dementia. I think she left. I live with my grandfather. He's 95 years old, but he's sharp as a tack. He's also super spontaneous. He goes on these weeks-long surprise vacations, calls them his evening walks. I enjoy traveling. It's one of my passions as well, along with my grandpa. I think it's hereditary. I love traveling, but I hate when babies cry on planes. Don't we hate this? When babies cry on planes?
Yeah.
Hate it.
till it's your baby, till you have one.
Until it's my baby. And I'll tell you what, one of these babies on this plane was crying so much, it almost entirely took the fun out of shaking him while he was sleeping. A little too dark. All right, let's go.
Dark.
We'll soften it up. I was walking at the park the other day, and my girlfriend, she's telling me that she thinks that, and I'm cheating on that girl that was at the Olive Garden, and it's all just jokes. So I was at the park, and she tells me that she thinks I'm an idiot, and I felt terrible about that. You know, I think that I'm pretty smart. I saw a sign that said, you know, do not feed the ducks, and that made sense to me. You would not want to feed the ducks because then they'll lose their natural ability to hunt and forage for hot Cheetos on their own. I saw a cute dog walking at the park. I wanted to pet it, so I asked the owner, do you mind if I pet your dog? The owner said, no, don't. The dog's not friendly. I wanted to ask him what he meant, but before I could even finish my sentence, the dog cuts me off and says, what are you, an idiot? about 2 jokes that, based on previous performance, I cannot perform. Let's talk a little bit about being Indian. So I'm Indian. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I am. We have a big wedding culture where I'm from. I'm North Indian. I'm a mix, actually, of Haryanvi and Punjabi, which is just a whole bunch of North Indian. Doesn't really make sense to anyone who was in India, so I don't know why I said that. But we have a big wedding tradition, North Indian. So one of the things that the groom does is that he will arrive to the wedding on a horse. Now, to other people, that seems very gaudy, but to the bride, it's one hell of a first impression. Sure, I can explain it in the Q&A, which I'm sure will be rich. Indian weddings are big, but Indian gender reveals are really big too. I went to an Indian gender reveal recently, and they had a big cake, open bar, and this Indian family had 2 big banners, one blue one and one pink one for the surprise reveal. I assume the blue one scrolls down and says, "Surprise, it's a boy," and the pink one would scroll down and say, "Surprise, we got an abortion." All jokes have some truth to them. All right. Pepper spray is great for stopping an assailant, unless that pepper spray is supposed to be used on an Indian. Then you should use bland spray.
That could be got.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I think I'll close on that, actually. So yeah, thank you all so much. You were beautiful.
Thank you.